If you're a pet owner right now, here's how it usually goes. Step 1, your dog's birthday comes around. Step 2, you grab whatever treat looks cute at the grocery store, not thinking twice about what's actually in it. Step 3, you find out later it's packed with fillers, salt, and sugar that's doing more harm than good. Dr. Stacey McFarland is a veterinarian who got tired of watching that cycle play out, first with shelter dogs in the Caribbean, then with her own clients in Miami. So she did something about it. She built a pet bakery from scratch using her veterinary expertise to create treats and cakes that are actually science-backed and safe. Today, she's going to walk us through exactly how she built it, from donating treats to shelters to landing celebrity clients to building a luxury brand in one of the most competitive markets in America. I'm Ryan Atkinson, and you're listening to the UpFlip Podcast, where we interview entrepreneurs to hear their advice on how you can start a business too. I am so excited for today's episode. This is a topic we have never had on the UpFlip Podcast. Dr. Stacey McFarland, thank you so much for being here today.
No, thank you for having me. I'm really excited to be able to share experiences from day one to today as well.
It's going to be so great. I'm so excited to cover your story, but let's first lay the baseline of like what you do and like really how big this is. So first question, what do you do? Tell us at a high level what you do.
So, we do everything from treats all the way from training treats all the way to like hotel revenue, celebrity VIP dog parties, right? We can do weddings, we can do quinceañeras down in Miami. We do the whole thing. So it goes from something as simple as a small birthday cake to if you want balloons, you want, mariachis, the whole nine, we're taking care of you and your dog for their birthday.
It's so crazy. And just to clarify, this is for the dogs. This isn't birthday parties for people.
No, yeah, well, there are fur babies. So yes,
Yeah.
this is for dogs.
Fur babies. That's right.
Yeah.
Cool. And then tell us like the operation, like how long you been doing this and like what's the revenue at today?
Yeah, so we started about 5 years ago. We finally hit our first 10,000 a month. So
Let's go.
we're definitely, super excited to get to these numbers. But yeah, we started from scratch, from nothing, just an idea that came from seeing dogs that had nothing really.
Yeah. And $10,000 is like, it's such a milestone to like hit. Like it is such like a good feeling. But obviously there's a lot of steps to get there. So let's really wind it back. You were in vet school in the Caribbean. Take us through like what you were doing there and like what you were seeing with dogs that were coming in.
Absolutely. So yes, I am a veterinarian by trade, baker by passion. So I went to Cornell University, graduated from there. Then I went to Ross Veterinarian School in the Caribbean. And so while I was there, we're going through our nutritional courses, and we just had like a program where you could adopt dogs. It was like a 2-year program. There was just shelter dogs all the time. The other thing about the Caribbean is that there's a lot of strays. So there was not a lot for them to have in terms of resources, table scraps at the most. So I started kind of baking some treats, and it became kind of like a project where we would donate to the shelter. Some of my classmates would buy some of the treats to do the same, to give it to the shelter dogs or some of like their local like little dogs that lived around the homes. And then professors started to buy, and it kind of went from there where these treats became something that was just something that came from giving to the homeless dogs to helping the shelter dogs, giving them a treat when they would go on walks. And then clients started buying it for their own dogs.
Wow. Well, take us to that moment. What was like that first request like? Because like you said, you're doing this just for like free for like homeless dogs and then like shelter dogs. Take me back to like that day. That had been such a mind twist for you.
Yeah. Well, once we started with like people buying it for shelter dogs, I'm like, wow, that's such a great gesture. Like we were giving them, and now like I had some colleagues were like, hey, let's buy some. We want to give some too. And then one of the students that was donating to the shelter dogs had a dog of her own. She's like, I want some for my dog. And that's where I was like, wait, really? She's like, yeah, absolutely. And at that time, it was the beginning, right? I didn't know a lot about the processes yet. So the treats didn't last more than a couple days before they molded, right? So they're like, they refresh, but there's a lot more to just making treats and making sure that they can be without preservatives, without all these other things. So that's where the goal, like, where like the idea started forming. Like I made treats, they had to be given that same week. The clients were like, hey, we want some. And I'm like, okay. So that's where things started to kind of click. And then the learning began, because now treats are not lasting long, but now I have more clients, and that's where it all started to kind of piece together.
Yeah, but it all starts just like being an entrepreneur. I feel like, and like actually like just taking that step, be like, oh, like I'll do it. Like I'll kind of just figure out. I'm sure like there's so many learnings from like those early days as well, where it's just like, oh my gosh, I have no idea what I'm doing. Like I don't know how long these treats are gonna last, but I'm just like gonna do it.
Right. Just the things you don't think about, right? You just kind of go with it, and then it just becomes something that people want. And I'm like, oh my God, let's go. You want some? Sure. You too? Let's go.
Yeah, I like that. And then there's a birthday cake moment as well, I believe, where a client asked you to create like a birthday cake for a dog. And you said yes. Yeah, tell us about that story, like what happened and how that like got things started as well.
It was, maybe 8 months later where I was trying to refine, like, getting these treats to last a little longer, just trying to some trial and error. This was one of my go-to, like, treat clients that back in the States because I brought the idea with me to the States after I left the Caribbean, still finishing vet school, so it was kind of a side project while I could. And this client was like, "Hey, my dog's birthday's coming up. Can you do a birthday cake?" And I said to her, well, I can try. I sure can try. I haven't made one, but we're going to give it our best. And then research kicked in, started putting together things that I did with my treats and kind of combining them and forming some sort of cake at that point.
That's crazy. So tell us about like the ingredients though, because I think that's like one of your big differentiator is that like every product is formulated like by a veterinarian. Like you're not just throwing in like the crappy product. So tell us like the ingredients and like how that was like your differentiator. And for the cake specifically, like did you do that from day one as well?
Yeah, the goal of the company is to make sure that what we're doing is always to have some benefit factor for the dogs, right? Because there's treats everywhere. But once you start making things, you realize how expensive it is to do organic, how expensive it is to use other, local eggs from farmers, So it started with using things that were organic, that were natural, things that I would want to feed my dog. So we try to make, using what I've learned in vet school was really the biggest piece, making sure that these fruits and veggies we're giving have antioxidants. The pumpkin is good for dogs that either have diarrhea or are constipated. So all of the ingredients have some sort of benefit for the dogs. They're not just fillers. It's cheaper to do fillers, of course, but that's not who we are. That's not our goal. So I want to make sure like if we're going to go grain free, we're going to use oat flour. We're going to try to stay away from high allergens. So we start with what is fruit and veggies for our clients. And we've had great success
Wow.
because right now a lot of dogs, especially in South Florida, have allergies to a lot of the bigger proteins. So that's where we are, just making sure like, yeah, we're not against the proteins. Absolutely. Dogs need it. But to make sure that they're having what's the safest, we try to shoot for something that's more fruit, veggie, less protein, less allergies, and something that's going to be beneficial for the majority of the canines.
Yeah, absolutely. And so, yeah, because that's the differentiator from like normal dog treats, which are probably like filled with like salt and like additives and stuff.
Have sugar, and I'm just mind blown. It says it there.
But obviously with the organics, obviously you have to price this correctly. Like you're not just going to do this for free or like lose money doing it. So yeah, how does that like affect pricing? And let's just talk about like how do you think to like price this competitively at a profit?
Yeah. So, I mean, in business as an entrepreneur, the first year is always going to be a loss, right?
Oh yeah.
You're going to try your best and do what you can, but you got to get your product out there without having clients. Like you need to do samplers or whatever it is that you do to advertise. So I just looked at what we were doing, what our costs look like, and then I did compete with other either storefronts, seeing what their ingredients were like. Obviously, there's no way we're going to compete with something that has fillers, but it did give us a price range on like what our minimum would be if they were able to charge X amount of dollars for something that they made for 5 cents, then there's no way I could do that and actually profit or make a business with. So it did take a while to kind of get gauge back and forth on what numbers to actually go for that made sense to us, to my clients, because the goal for us also is to make sure that they're getting what's beneficial. It's not really how much can I get off my client? It's like, I want you to understand what we're doing and I want all the dogs to be able to have a safe birthday.
Are you ready to launch, grow, and scale a business? Inside the UpFlip Academy, you'll get a complete roadmap to shortcut your success with 25 plus step-by-step programs taught by active business owners, not gurus, who share their step-by-step blueprints, plus ongoing live workshops, skills training, a business idea database, and community to share resources and celebrate your wins. Click the link in the description below to join the UpFlip Academy today and start surrounding yourself with the people and tools that can change everything for your business.
So what are you guys like priced at today? And like, how has that changed from I mean, you're 5 years in the business. So what was your pricing like when you like year one? Like what has it grown to
Yeah.
today?
So we started about, I think our small cake was about in the 30s
Okay.
back in the day before I even knew you had to include, pricing of like, I don't know, the oven and
Yeah, yeah.
and all of the things where you're like, just,
It's how you get started though. It's how you get started.
and then so now think our smallest cake is running for about $55, $60 for the smallest now. So it's probably doubled at the least in the last couple of years. But then again, so has product.
That's the caveat there is like, so as product. I know for my own company, like when we started, like we're in the video marketing space, we used to do 10 videos for 12,000. That was 3 years ago. Now it's 6 videos for 29,000. Like, it's just you just learn, like, the product gets so much better. And so tell about the clientele as well, because someone's listening, they're like, "I would never spend $50 on my dog for a cake," but they're not your, target client. So who is, like, your target client, like, $50? I mean, that's yeah, who's your target client?
It's hard to say, and I've learned that over the years too, because I always thought like, "Oh, okay, so we are not for everyone, right? Not everyone is for everyone." But we have a realm of clients. I have clients who ask if they can pay on Thursday when their check comes in, or clients who don't even ask me what the total is. So I can't even tell you that there's a pinpoint client for us. It's really if it fits for you, if you're looking to give your dog the best with what you can. We are pricey, but I think it's only because we are giving you the best quality. We are making sure that everything you're getting is backed 100%. We're not giving you any of no fillers. I mean, I can even show you here, like ingredient wise, you'll see here like oat flours, eggs, olive oil, everything you can read with no sugar, no salt, no fillers. There's not things on here that you can't pronounce. And that's really our goal. So in terms of clients, they range from standard, just going to work every day to penthouse.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sure. Yeah, I can't even imagine. Miami's, like, so competitive. Like, that's I mean, that's a tier 1 city in America. That is a competitive market. Like, how did you go about getting, like, your first 10 to 20 clients?
Social media and really just connecting with people. So I've been able to build a community within the bakery itself. We have amazing supporters, amazing fans. I do a lot with the community in Miami. We go to dog park grand openings. I work with a lot of the police canines. We celebrate the retirement. So it's really just showing people what your product is about, who you are. Putting a face to the company is so important. And I think that all entrepreneurs to know, like, just put your face out there, let people know who you are. And then it's showing them that your product is trustworthy. They know what they're getting. There's no, whatever questions you have, ask me. We will lay it all out so you are comfortable with what you're getting. And we always, every time you order from us, there'll always be a question like, how was everything? Because I want all the feedback, good, bad, whatever in between. So it's really that.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of it too, because like obviously you really, I mean, you can kind of get the dog's feedback if they like eating it, but like the dog's not gonna speak up and say that was incredible, give me more. So is it like really making that connection with like the parent of the dog to give them like a great experience as well? Obviously, the dog has to eat the whole thing, but like, is it like really providing a great experience?
Yeah, it's of course. So, I mean, the dog can't really tell me the favorite color, right? So
Yeah.
we go through that. Like, what would your dog like? You give me a theme and connecting with the parent. Whatever question you have, we're open about everything. Whatever it is, ingredients wise, what they do for your dog, why you shouldn't give other things to your dogs. Monthly, we'll do it's called like a vet talk. So I'll bring on one of my colleagues and we talk about whether it's ingredients, whether it's just different nutritional things or just anything about dogs, really. So our goal is to always make sure that everything is like a safe space for our clients. Questions, anything vet med, we just try to shoot it and kind of tie it all together, which I think is nice because I can put like my expertise between like my passion and then get to know everyone.
That is incredible. So how are you guys like getting your leads then? Because obviously leads are the heart of like every business. Obviously you need to have a great product, but like, yeah, can you tell us more about like how are you getting your leads? And if someone wanted to start a similar business, like how should they go about getting their first few clients?
Definitely social media has been like our biggest platform, right? Whether it's Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, like just getting it out there. You can start without doing any ads. We did no ads for years, really. Like I didn't really know much about it to begin with, but I was also just trying to see how social media worked. Social media is a huge platform for people to just jump on, take pictures of the product, showcase what you do every month, get reviews, just people talking about it and post it. I think are really good ways to go ahead and get your product out there. And word of mouth is still a thing. I mean, who you know helps a lot. Giving people little perks to refer you is also something that helps a lot too.
Yeah, I feel like the leads are just part of like every like business. It's interesting that so are you guys running ads like today then or
Yeah.
can you give us like a super high level of like what your ad strategy like is today then? Obviously you don't have to give us like the secret sauce. I'm not asking for that, but at a high level, like what are you guys doing for ads?
We don't run a ton either right now. Honestly, we do have a lot of organic trends right now, thankfully. Also, it's just more of still people not knowing that I guess our niche is there because we have people who will reach out a couple days and say, "Hey, I didn't know this was a thing." So, first, organic is such a good way to do it. But if you are trying to shoot for ads, is finding your perfect client, really. And I do think it takes time to find who that person is or that group of dog moms, dog dads for us, right? Like that's who we shoot for. Dog moms, dog dads, kind of in certain age ranges. And then of course, because our cakes are currently local, I do shoot for what is Miami. I'll go north of Miami, south of Miami, go into Broward too. But we've had people drive down from Orlando, and that's like a
Wow.
drive. Yes, we have. And I am super grateful. I mean, I know there's bakeries from Orlando to Miami, but we're here. We're here and we are going to make it work for all our clients. So it's really finding the people that you think are going to really invest in your product, what they want, age range, that type of thing, and then shooting the ads for that area. And if you can ship, then you have way more ad space to do.
How has like scaling this gone? Because obviously you're like not mass producing this. Like you've been like very mindful about building this. So talk to us about like the operation side and like, what does that look like behind the scenes for you and the team?
In terms of the treat piece of it, we've definitely had a lot of work because once people start to mass produce, they get away from their purpose. We've had a million offers of like, we'll white label, we'll do all the things for you. We'll just put a sticker on it. And it sounds great and easy and we could probably be making a lot more money, but that's not our goal. So we do have our treats that are produced all the time. We've just had to hire more people who are willing to put in some hours, and the bakery is seasonal like a lot of other jobs. So the seasons for the rest of the year are our biggest time in terms of treats, in terms of seasonal cookies, in terms of just getting a lot of more content out versus like most stores where the summer is a little bit on the slower side.
So I want to talk about you personally as well. Obviously, you're going to like vet school. So did you plan ever to like be an entrepreneur or like, yeah, I want to hear just about like your personal growth from this as well.
I've always loved the idea of it. I've always loved the idea of at least down the line owning my own veterinarian hospital of some sort was maybe a plan, but never did I expect to have a dog bakery and be a veterinarian at the same time. But it came and I ran with it. And I do want to tell people that are listening, like it's hard in the beginning, but keep going. Like just keep going because you never know.
Was there a moment where like you ever did think about like quitting? I mean, from my own personal journey, there are multiple times, especially in that like first year. It's awful. It's the worst thing.
Everything, you have a bad week and then everything just comes down and everything sucks. And it's like, we're done. And then we're like, no, we're not.
Yep.
No,
No, we're not. Nope. When it rains, it pours when it comes to entrepreneurship. But tell us about just like getting like through that. Cause I feel like the first year for so many people is just like, frankly, like when they quit, just because it is so hard. So like what advice would you have for people that are listening right now and getting through that first year?
the point is just keep going and don't give up because it's going to be hard and you're going to have an amazing time at some point. And then you're going to have a time where things just aren't flowing your way, no matter how hard you try, but don't give up. That's the key.
Yeah, it is like really the key. And it's so easy to like potentially give up when it comes. It can really be like so hard. I've been through the valleys of valleys when on like entrepreneurship, like the absolute valleys of valleys. But like looking back on it now that I'm through it, it's like I wouldn't have changed a thing with it now just because that has made me like such a better entrepreneur. I'm sure yeah, do you feel like the same way on that?
Yeah, 100%. I think like as much as we've had our ups and downs and we've had such high moments and such low moments, I think it's built kind of everything, like the low moments push you to do harder, to just keep going, to try a different idea. We've had success stories on ideas that I thought were like, this isn't going to work. And then boom, it did.
So crazy.
We did a cake that I'm like, I don't know, it doesn't look that great. And then it became our biggest hit. Just try it. And people will actually love it or not. And you'll know which way to go with it.
Yeah, it's the best way to go. Give us like one of like your crazy stories about like potentially like quitting or something, just because like it is so real and like it should be talked about with entrepreneurship. So give me like one of your like crazy stories about like quitting.
I was working as a veterinarian as well. And then I was also trying to keep up with the business. So I was working all day with the veterinarian piece and then coming home and doing all of the baking at night. Things are either going to get missed on the agenda or the cake is not going to go. The frosting is not going to go. So I had a huge order for the next day. And nothing was going. Nothing was going. I was exhausted. The cake, it wasn't cooking the way it should for whatever reason. It was put in, everything was perfect recipe wise. The oven just told me no, like it wasn't happening. So now it's like 3:00 in the morning. Things are still just going sideways. I can't find what I need in terms of like the proper packaging because this is like a VIP and I need everything to go perfect. It's like 6:00 in the morning at this point. Things finally come out of the oven. I'm able to get some of the stuff finalized for this huge order I have going for me. I send out like the first half of the order because at least something has to make it because I see have things that are just not going for me. Whether it was the cupcake that just didn't want to look the way it needs to be, whether the frosting didn't want to go ahead and like stick the way it should. So the first half goes. Now I'm trying to finish the next half, and the client's like, "Hey, where's the rest of it?" I'm like, "Oh no, this is not good. This is not good." Mind you, my other job had already started, but that was already an L. So I said, "Yeah, I'm like, oh, we're gonna be sick today because we got to get this done, no matter how much of a disaster." And then by the time I was able to wrap up all the stuff, the client didn't want it. So I'm
Oh,
like, "That's it. I'm done. She's gonna hate me. Like everything sucks. I'm super upset." I gave it everything. It was like the team just things didn't work out that day for whatever reason. Everything was complete. So by the time she sends me that message, I'm like, all right, that's fine. I mean, don't worry about the payment. Like we'll cover it. Unfortunately things happen. It's on us. I can completely understand. Like at that point, I'm done. This bakery's over. We're done. Like,
we're closing shop.
oh yeah, that's it. That this is gonna go all over the news. You know what I mean? Later on, she sends me another message and she's like, "Hey, I might have overreacted. If you still have all of that, then please send it my way and I'll pay the extra delivery."
Whoa.
And I was like, "What?" It turned out fine. Everything worked out. She was actually very happy at the end after I guess things just kind of flew the way that she expected. But honestly, that was one of my moments where I'm like, "Oh, this was a disaster. Like things didn't work out because we trying to make everything fresh, like sure, could we have done it days in advance, but then it's kind of didn't it would have worked out the way we would have planned it, I guess, but it all turned out at the end okay, but in those couple of hours between everything, we're done. My life is
I have like a few stories as well there, but like I just remember like the lowest of lows, like just like so much anxiety, like, oh my God, I'm gonna have to like release people, like I have people on payroll, like they're not gonna get paid, I'm not gonna get paid, no one's gonna get paid. It is like one of the worst worlds, but it speaks to entrepreneurship is like you just gotta get like through it.
yeah. No, yeah, and you learn from it. You do. You learn that it's never gonna be perfect, but next time you're gonna try to make everything as perfect as you can, really.
Yeah, absolutely. It's perfect as you can there, but it really is as you can. But yeah, it really is just like a testament to like entrepreneurship and like your story. So if someone is listening, last question before we dive into fanblitz, they're like, oh my gosh, like, I'm afraid to take step one of my entrepreneurial journey. What advice would you give to someone that's listening right now?
Do it. Just go ahead, like, you don't have to have a perfect plan to start something. You have an idea, open up an LLC, start something, go for it. You don't have to have a budget. I mean, I started with like a couple bucks, really. Like I started with a couple dollars. Like that's all you really need for an idea. Take some cool pictures. And now with like AI, you can at least have like a really nice picture of whatever products you have, nice background, go from there. It's that easy, but the hardest part is starting. Like if you
It
don't take
is.
the first step, you're never going to get anywhere.
The hardest part is literally just taking that first step, which is so true. But Dr. Stacey, you have been incredible. Let's dive into our fan blitz questions. So these are questions submitted from our community. Listeners, if you want to join in on world-class entrepreneurs like Dr. Stacey, email us at podcast@upflip.com to get your questions answered. But ready for our last five here.
Yes.
Someone just fed their dog a piece of human birthday cake. What's the first thing you tell them?
Okay, the first thing you tell them is, "Don't do that again." You wanna watch them for signs. Are they vomiting? Are they diarrheaing? Are they not doing okay? Because they can get sick from a human birthday cake because of how much sugar it has, especially if it's chocolate. Stay away from chocolate and
Oh,
dog.
yeah. That's a big no-no. Number two, what's the most outrageous custom cake order you said yes to?
It was pretty awesome. IShowSpeed made a cake with us, and he had
Whoa,
it was a 3-tower cake for his dog. Yeah. It was
that
like
is so
oh,
sick.
pretty awesome. Yeah.
That is really cool. You can only keep one, the treats or the cakes. Which one survives and why?
I'm gonna have to go with cakes. It's just so much fun creating them, honestly, and being able to do all the different designs for our clients.
What's the one ingredient that has no business being in a pet product that's somehow still everywhere?
Sugar.
Sugar. I like it. Why sugar in particular? Is it just sugar or
It's just you cause so many diseases, you can give your dog diabetes, you can do all kind of things where dogs can get really sick, vomiting, diarrhea, just you don't wanna get pancreatitis. All of these are the diseases that can be started because of the sugar, high content sugar or chocolate, either way. That one's just toxic. Mhm.
what is one thing in your business that you're still trying to figure out for the audience? We'll end with that one.
Oh, that's a good question. Scaling and keeping to our purpose.
That's a great answer. Dr. Stacey, you have been incredible today. Thank you so much for your time and just hopping on the podcast to talk more about this. I love this like business idea. It's so good. So if someone's like, oh my gosh, I want to order from her or just like learn more about her, where can they connect with you at?
Instagram. So Doggie Bakery Miami. Check us out. It's DOGGIE. And you can shoot us any kind of question, message, whatever you want, and we'll be there for you.
Everyone, that was an amazing episode with Dr. Stacey McFarland. 3 quick takeaways for you. Number 1, if you want to get started with entrepreneurship, you just got to start. You got to take that very first step into entrepreneurship and do it. As Nike says, just do it. Number 2, failure is needed along the way. So once you do get started, expect a lot of failure in that first year, maybe even like the first 2 years. It is so hard to get a business off the ground, but you just need to stick through it. And Stacey gave so many fun stories at the end of this episode about that. And then number 3, great way to get clients, get referrals from people. Who can you reach out to in your existing network? Once you are getting clients on, ask them for referrals. Really nice way to get your first couple of leads. So great episode with Dr. Stacey McFarland. If you guys are enjoying this podcast, please give us a 5-star rating wherever you listen to us. It helps us get more amazing entrepreneurs like Stacey on the show. And we will see you next Monday. Well, thank you so much for your time today. Really appreciate it.
Thank you for having us.